Hi, I'm John Lyons, and this is my isolated talk. So, I just wanted to talk a little bit about some things that have got me through my various careers in life, and that's focusing on routine and ritual. So, as a young undergrad architect, because that's how I started out, we were kind of taught to focus a lot on kind of buildings, machines for living in, machines for working in, and that came from the modernist era, and a lot of it was bullshit, let's be honest. The kind of top down approach of dehumanising people gave us the Elephant and Castle, which is where I grew up, where we had a shopping centre that was not on the ground floor. We had underpasses to go anywhere or overpasses. So basically, the routine was to go up or down. Cars ruled, and the rituals that we developed were things like always keeping a set of keys in your hand, kind of keys sticking out from your knuckles, just to protect yourself, because basically what they designed was mugging alleys. So I kind of quite early as an architect took that the other way and started looking at routines and the little rituals in life that people execute themselves in a day-to-day life, and to focus on those and to see how we could, as designers, reinforce those where it was beneficial, change them, quite often just celebrate them. And so many years later, when I found myself in marketing, I've still looked at those routines and rituals. So whether or not it's the routine of where we go in a shopping aisle to buy something, are we looking to reinforce the routine? Are we looking to reinforce the ritual of branding, or are we looking to disrupt and change people's perception of a brand? Shift the routine, add in new rituals to do that. Or with a lot of shopper marketing and a lot of what I do in promotional marketing is, okay, how can we break someone's routine and get them to try something different for a change and hope that they'll stay on? Let's not go into the whole loyalty thing. Loyalty is largely inertia, we know that, but we can get people to consider differently by trying to break the routine, by adding new rituals in. And I've kind of used that a lot as well in my personal life. So, here we are at the moment. Routines have changed. Everything's changed. We're working from home. Kind of sat here in the bedroom of my little 1.5 bedroom flat in Hackney, trying to find room to work, and wife and 2 kids next door. The only way I've really been able to do it is to completely create a new routine and some new rituals that have allowed me to get here, to create the mind space to be creative, to create the mind space to do my job. So, for many years my routine was get up at 6:30, have a coffee, then go into the bathroom, shit, shower, shave, listen to the radio, get dressed, leave, get to the office, work in an office environment with people around me that I can tap into. I'm kind of in the mindset to be creative, in the mindset to do my job. That's all changed. So I've introduced new rituals, because that's the only way that I can get the right mindset and the right space to do my job and to do it well. So 2 things have been important there. Number one is replacing just the opportunity to be ready to be creative, which kind of, as I walk into the office, I am. So I need to create a new version of that, but also kind of creating an environment where I can just actually get down and do my work. There's no room in the flat to work. I don't have an office space. So what I have and what I'm sitting at the moment is a fold-away desk in the bedroom that I share with my wife and our 7-month-old daughter. And the ritual that I've created makes it possible for me to turn this into an office during the day and turn it into a bedroom afterwards. So I still get up at 6:30. I've kept that routine. I have my coffee. I read the news on teletext because I'm old school. Shower, shit, shave, that's changed. So what I have done, and a lot of the people that have already submitted these, and Giles, who's behind it, have been big influences here, is that I've replaced the crappy Radio 5 with listening to interesting industry podcasts. So call to action, disruptors, overthinkers on strategy, etc. Sweathead, obviously, Mark Pollard. And so I'm getting ready in the morning and I'm listening to interesting people saying interesting things, starting at the same time. And then when I've finished, when I'm ready, when I'm dressed, I then go into the process of turning the bedroom into an office. So that means making the bed, little chambermaid precision. I can't have any visual distractions at all. Opening the curtains, opening the window just teeny little bit, just so there's enough air coming in. But yeah, once I've got the desk set up in here, there's no really room for movement to get back to the window to open it again. So I get in that right to start with. I get the plugs and the wires out of my sock drawer because I want them out of the way when it's a bedroom. I get the monitor down from on top of the dresser because that's nice and out of the way. I get the fold-away table from behind the door. I get the fold-out chair that we have next door in my son's room, which we use to read him his bedtime story. Set up the desk, close the door. I'm at work. I'm at work and I've got the mindset where I can do work. And at the end of the day, I do all of that again in reverse. So far it's working. So far it's working. But also in other aspects of my life where I've kind of fallen back on routine and particularly ritual, we've all kind of had struggles, I'm sure. I'm not alone in having had ups and downs, kind of, been hit with the black dog of depression once or twice. And mostly what I've done is kind of been able to fall back on one thing. And it's something that kind of makes me feel like I'm taking control again, like I'm able to do something willful. And it's a sign that I'm ready to take action. And that is cutting my hair. So I crop my hair. For years I've done this, and back when I was younger, Shoreditch DJ days, the hair was crazy, the hair was wilder. These days I keep it fairly short anyway, grey hair. But I've always seen it as a very proactive thing to do. It reinforces that I'm ready, and it's a constant reminder, because every time I look in the mirror, having shaved, washing my face, passing a shop door when we used to do things like that, it's there that my hair's short, that I've done something, that I'm moving. As you can see, I've kind of done it fairly recently again. Hasn't always worked. A couple of years ago did have a particularly rough period off the back of grief of losing someone very close that I hadn't dealt with. Kind of realisation that I needed to shift professionally, and that meant sort of losing the comfort of the organisation I'd built over 20 years in 2 different companies in effect, but the team being the same. I knew it was time to step away from that, which gave me some anxiety. And then I was diagnosed with cancer. Skin cancer, so they treated it as fine, but it threw me sideways. Shaving my head didn't work. In the end, having managed to keep going to some bare degree by telling myself that I didn't want my son to grow up without a father, I got in touch and took some therapy, and it worked for me. And the interesting thing was CBT is very much focused on routine. It's focused on looking at rituals, and through that I was able to look at the routines that I'd built myself during depression and compare them to what I was no longer doing and work out a way back. So it's tough times. It's difficult at the moment. It's difficult keeping in a mindset. Stay strong, stay on top of it, and if it helps, do something positive. Puts you back in control. And that's my isolated talk.